Justice never dead. Brand new, lay it down. Goes a
Wait, this is episode 4?
Yes, this is episode 4. Welcome everybody to episode 4 of the podcast.
Did you just start it? Did we just start?
It started like the second Dylan went, like
Oh,
I had
cool,
hit,
great.
I had
Thanks for
hit,
telling us. Alright.
but I didn't realize he was gonna do that right away.
God. Alright. Welcome to episode 4 of Cheap Patrol. I'm Jake, Dylan, and here's Justin. We're the Cheap Patrol. I don't know what the thumbnail is, it's probably gonna be pretty good. I would like to start off this podcast by saying I have a story from my youth where I remember the first time that I cussed in front of my parents, and I would like you guys to share yours as well. But I have two, one from me and one from that I remember my friend did. So I remember mine. It was back when I was playing football, and we were going to like halftime of practice or whatever. Like you're like, oh, water break, go get some water. So we take our helmets off, go, and we're gonna go get some water. And my dad decides, hey, other coaches, watch this. He grabs a football and he fucking hucks it at my head, and it hits me square in the head. And I just turn around and went, what the hell's your problem? Just dead ass like that. And after that, I was there, oh, I just said hell. I'm in trouble. That's what it felt like. But then meanwhile, like, he just starts laughing, like, whew. And then I walked and got water and came back. But, shut up. But, another time, I remember it was baseball practice, and we were goofing off and stuff. In baseball practice, I was like 9, and since we were goofing off so much, we got sent on laps because we were messing around. So when we were running around our laps, when we were walking back to our positions, Jared turns at Zach and goes, "Fucking Zach!" Like it was Zach's fault that we had to start running. And then Jared's dad heard him say that, and he's like, nope, we're not done yet, we're gonna keep going, go again. And my dad just started laughing.
Fucking Jared.
Fucking Zach. Alright, what about you guys?
Mine's interesting.
No, I want to hear yours, because
Tell an interesting one then.
Well, me and Dylan came from very similar homes when it came with cussing. It was very open in our parental relationships, where both of our moms were just kind of just like, fuck this, fuck that. They were just like all over it. So for us to start cussing wasn't really a big deal because that's what they did.
Did you guys ever get caught by like a teacher in school?
I remember I was the first one in school to openly cuss. And
did you feel cool?
Hell yeah, it was fucking cool. You know how much puss I got afterwards? Just thrown all over.
How about you, Dylan?
I don't think so. I was always a good boy in high school, besides last year. Or school in general.
1 out of 2 years.
Sorry, I said high school. I meant school.
Wow.
I know.
I remember.
I did call my teacher mom once.
Were you like in
Fucking
elementary
loser.
school?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that once too.
Very embarrassed.
Did you wet your little pants?
I peed my pants.
Did you ever
Oh,
pee your
dude.
pants in like a public place?
Yeah.
As far as you can remember?
Yeah,
You did,
I
Dylan?
got a good story for that too. I definitely did.
Alright, go. Alright, you go, Justin.
So-
You go first.
Us being the open kids that we were in school, we kind of just like showed our dongs everywhere and didn't really give a shit. But
So you were like 15.
yeah, and then we started getting really insecure about that stuff. But there was legitly one time in like elementary school to where the thing that we liked to do was go as far back from the urinal that we possibly could and then pee and try to hit the urinal.
I did that when I was by myself a lot in elementary school.
Oh no, I would do it with all my friends, and we'd have competitions to see who can go further back than each other and not hit the ground. It was really fun. But there was one time where like it was like 5th grade where I didn't want to do that, but there was a penny in the urinal. I was like, I'm gonna pee on that. So I start peeing on this penny in there. I'm like, ha 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 ha, yeah. And like I was getting this weird splashback, but didn't really think anything of it until I went to go wash my hands and realized I was pissing on part of my jeans the entire time.
Dude, I did that like a month ago.
Yeah. So
I was at a urinal in my college, and I was pissing. I'm like, man, this bounce back is pretty heavy, and then it just like sprinkles of piss all over my pants.
no. I'm talking like, you know when you unzip your pants, you have those little flaps
Oh
from the
my god!
waistband.
And the top stream hit like, or
It
the
was-
bottom part of the stream hit your pants.
I was pissing like on my pants almost perfectly. So I ran out to the water, like the drinking fountain. I'm like, oh god, and I'm like throwing like water on my pants. I was like, oh sorry, I spilled it. But I was sitting next to like the pretty girl in class, and I remember her being like, it smells like pee in here, and me thinking like, ah shit, it's me. So I smelled like piss all day, and then like to dry myself, I was laying flat on the floor on the hot cement, which just like made me smell like pee even more.
Drying piss will make the piss stinky go away.
Hey man, what do you expect?
I got me there.
When was the
Alright,
last
Dylan.
time that you shit yourself? Do you remember that? Like, actually shit yourself?
Well, I want to hear Dylan's piss story first.
Okay.
So by my grandma's house, this park, and me and my brother went there, and we went swimming. I don't know what made me pee my pants, but I remember that we went home because I did it, and on the way home, because I had to walk, pissed in my pants, there was a old lady walking by us. And she was like, "Oh, you spilled water all over yourself." And I was like, yeah.
Last time I shit myself. Alright, when I had the flu a couple months ago, I had the constant shits, and I was really tired. Like I had the flu for 3 days. I probably slept for 36 hours in those 3 days, like at least. And then one day in the middle of like, it's like 2 a.m. I wake up and like, oh man, I feel like I got a fart. So I pushed a little bit and heard, I'm like, oh shit, that's not good. So I had no other option. I grabbed a tissue next to my bed and put my hand down my pants to see, and I sharted myself. Not a lot, because it was barely, and like I took everything off and just threw it in the washer and took a shit and then put on like new underwear to fall asleep in.
But it was enough.
And then I was just like, I'm done. And then I woke up and almost shit myself again.
Oh, was that the morning you texted me?
Yeah, I texted Justin. I think I shit my pants.
Oh man, that was a good morning.
That's probably the last time, but other than that, I was never really a pants shooter. Besides when I was like a baby.
I remember there was one time I had diarrhea in like, it was embarrassing. It was like in 8th grade, and I shit my bed heavily, like really bad, like enough to where I had to strip every single sheet off the bed, and when I went to like go back to sleep, I had to wrap a towel around my waist around my underwear again. Yeah. And then I woke up and went to school the next morning.
How about you, Dylan? Did you ever shoot yourself?
Like one. Nothing special. Just farted. I shot myself. And that well.
Oh man, that was good.
I know a better one where I threw up. Did we tell this? I don't know if we told this.
I think we
If it's the
when
one
you were
where
just laying down and you just threw up all over your mom's bed.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
that
think I
was
told
that
that.
was a great solid one. That will go down in infamy
But-
forever.
But I remember going back to like piss. I remember one time we were in elementary school. We were coming back from lunch, and I was one of the first kids to like come back into class. But a girl in my class had to sit outside because she was bad. She's like, "Oh, well, you can get food, but you have to come back here and eat it because you're bad. You don't get to like play." So she comes back and she sits there, and then I remember walking back. I'm like, "Oh man, someone spilled water on the floor," and I'm like, "Oh, it smells terrible." It turns out she pissed herself in the classroom, and when she was asked why, she's like, well, my teacher asked, why did you pee everywhere? Why did you do this? She's like, you told me not to move. And I just started bursting out in laughter. I had to be like 7. And I'm like, oh my god, she peed herself. Fucking idiot.
I remember the
Classic
very first.
idiot.
I remember the very first time that I ever threw up. Like I'm talking ever in my life. I was in the 4th grade, and I raised my hand to like go to the bathroom because I felt it coming up, and the teacher wouldn't let me go. So I remember just
Oh my
I
God.
sprinted around to the back of the class to the nearest trash can, and I started throwing up before I got to the trash can, and I swear it was inches from a girl. Like it spewed out of my mouth like right next to her.
Did anyone else throw up because of you?
Not that I remember. I remember standing out in the hall, and the janitor was like trying to take care of me. He was like, "Hey man, like it's alright, it happens. Like you almost threw up on a girl. I know it's a little embarrassing, but it happens, man. I promise."
It happened.
I was like, "Look, man, I just want to go home."
Oh.
I remember one of the first times I threw up. I remember it's like one of my earliest memories was throwing up because it was so painful and it was like so bad. I was like 3, and I was at my grandma's house, and I was sitting down on the couch and I was sick. I wasn't like terribly sick, but I was like, I think I had a cold. And I remember the way my grandma tells it, she goes, "You turned your head and looked at me and said, I sick. And then I ran up and tried to sprint to the bathroom, but by that time I already thrown up in my mouth and more was coming up. So I tried to cover my mouth with my hand and like spewed out of my hand. And it just went like all over her carpet, and then like when I finally got to the bathroom, like I spat out and it was only like a tiny drop of vomit that only landed in the fucking toilet. And I don't remember how pissed she was at me, but she's like, I was so fucking mad at you. It took fucking ever to get the vomit scent out of the fucking carpet. That's one of the earliest times I've ever thrown up.
I remember throwing up one time on the way to Fresno. I had just gotten an In-N-Out shake, and I was reading.
You were so excited.
Well, I used to love them, but I was reading, and this is right when I started developing like my car sickness. So I started getting a really, really bad headache, and normally what I would do is I would just fall asleep, and it would go away when I woke up, and I was fine for the rest of the car trip. Well, this one particular time, I went to bed, and I woke up about an hour later, still just a splitting headache. And I remember there was like no warning. I just started vomiting everywhere. And I had like my clothes and my bag and all my pillows right beneath me and like my car seat and my feet. Because I was a very small child. I was in like a car seat till I was like 11. Sadly. But I grabbed my pillowcase and I opened it and started throwing up into it. But it got
That's
inside
not
of
gonna
my...
stop anything.
No. but it was
just goes right through.
it was all over the car and like all my clothes and my duffel bag. We threw everything out and we went on the road. I had nothing when we got to Fresno.
Pillowcase wouldn't stop anything.
Lucky.
It was very sad. It was a sad day for me.
Dude, I hate when you're on like a very long road trip and then you just start reading stuff and then your head kills you.
Yeah.
That shit
exactly
happens to
what it
me
is.
like on the way to Dylan's house.
How?
Like if I ever read something on my like radio that's like a little too long, I'll be like, oh fuck my head.
Motion sickness. I have that pretty bad. That's why I usually like, always fall asleep during car rides. That you get a massive headache.
Have you guys ever broken a bone?
No, I've never broken anything.
I got-
Dylan,
What's
you don't
the
break
what's the
anything.
most serious injury you guys have ever had in your life then?
I got hit by a car, I had a concussion and 2 sprained ankles.
I don't remember that. I was
Yeah.
What did you say that was great?
Mm-hmm.
That was my
don't you
freshman
tell
year of
that?
high school.
Just
There's not really much to tell. I was super excited for Halo Reach to come out, and I remember I only needed like $5 to pay it off. So I rushed down to GameStop, but all I remember was sneaking out of the house because I was told to wait for my mom to get home, and I was like, nope, I'm getting my game now. And I remember sneaking by the den and jumping on my bike and like sneakily walking out the back door, and that's all I remember. Next thing I know, I wake up in the no, I don't wake up in the hospital. I wake up the next day at home, and I just remember like bits
What
and
the-
pieces of what happened because I blacked out.
were you hit when you were riding your bike?
Yeah, I guess what had happened was me being the excited young teenage boy I was. I jumped on my bike, and you know when you get those like little ramps on the curbs, I hit one of
Oh, yeah.
those. I hit one of those into the street, and didn't look both ways, and I got just head on by a car. So it was my fault ultimately, but it was still devastating. So what I thought had happened was I got to the crosswalk at Bellflower, and I rode out there and like a car like ran me down, but it was literally like at the corner of my street. I blacked out and made up the entire story.
You thought you made it like this entire distance, but really you went like 2 feet and got hit by a car.
Pretty much, yeah. That's all that really happened. And then I remember waking up in the ambulance, and the paramedics were like, "Hey, bud, you remember what happened?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Tell me what happened." I was like, "I got hit by a car, didn't I?" And he goes, "That's exactly what happened." And then I remember waking up in the hospital and being asked questions by a police officer, and I guess all the information I gave him was completely wrong. And then I remember being
Was it like a
carried
hit
on.
and run, and did they like not find the person that hit you?
No, I told him it was a hit and run, and the car that did it it looked exactly like my neighbor's car. But what really happened was like the lady hit me with her car and then stayed with me till the ambulance came and gave them all her information, and then she took off. So she did the right thing.
But you acted like it was this big scenario and they needed to find the person.
Yeah, I guess so. But I remember being carried on my grandpa's back to the to like the front out of the wheelchair and into the car, and then on my grandpa's back up to the front door, and then just waking up the next morning. That's all I remember.
Did you wake up and you're like, what the hell happened?
No, like I thought it was a dream, but I tried to stand up and like collapsed, and my ankles were like in terrible pain, and I was like super nauseous. And then when I walked to the bathroom to like pee, I realized I'm in a gown.
You were in a gown, you're like, how the fuck am I wearing this?
Yeah, and I was like, oh fuck, was this like? And then my mom came home like later that day after I woke up from a nap, and she was like, how do you feel? I was like, what happened? She goes, you got hit by a car. And I was like, wait, that was a thing that happened? I didn't make that up.
What about you, Dylan? What's the most serious injury you ever had?
Just a dog bite.
Alright, it's more serious than that. Actually,
Man, we
what
told
happened?
it.
Did we tell on the podcast?
Yes.
I think we did,
like,
yeah.
what? I mean,
Dog ripped Dylan's
this
hand
one's
off.
not serious, but it was a pretty big accident. I didn't break anything, I don't think. But like during summer, I was being babysitted by my cousin, and we're like
You mean by
riding
Justin?
back. No, not you. It wasn't you. And we were riding back from the public pool, and you know those electrical wires that go into the ground
Yeah.
with the yellow wrapping around it?
Oh yeah.
I like went off the sidewalk into the grass. I wasn't like looking. I was like looking at my brother, and I turned back, and it was right in front of me, and I clotheslined it. And my body went like flying off.
Oh shit.
Good thing I had a helmet on.
Safety first,
'Cause
kids.
that probably could have knocked me out and gave me a bad concussion right there.
Were you just like, ow?
I got up like, ow, that hurt. I don't know what just happened. I just went,
What was Dakota's reaction?
I don't know, like shocked. Like, oh my god, you alright? That's about it. And then, this is an accident, but I had to get a bone removed from my left foot.
Oh shit.
It's not like a serious bone. It was like a.
Was it just like a
extra-
deformity or something?
It's
Or
a serious
it was
bone.
it wasn't like a
was a-
toe? Come on. Just...
It's a toe. They removed my toe. It was like a deformity. It was like an extra bone. It was growing out, and it was giving me like pains every time like, I exercised for too long.
That's just
Or
being
walked
fat.
for too long. Stop, Justin.
You don't hurt Dylan's feelings on the podcast.
Sorry.
And I just got surgery. It's nothing. That's about it.
I got surgery, that's nothing. Oh, you know
That's
what? I
nothing.
was in a very life-threatening situation. I had pneumonia when I was like 5.
Is that life-threatening nowadays?
It was for me back then because I was so young. I was super susceptible to being like extra sick. And I guess I
Yeah.
was in the hospital for like a couple weeks.
Mm,
I could be wrong on that. I'm probably wrong on that, but it felt super long to
probably
me.
Well, I
fired.
had
Immune system
fucking
is good.
problems when I was like a baby, like an infant, cause like when I was born, my parents kept saying like I keep having heartburn, like bad heartburn, to where like it would just get me sick every time it would happen, and I couldn't eat because no matter what I ate, I just throw up, and I wouldn't go to the bathroom because I didn't eat anything. So, well, we just literally had to wait it out, and I could have like, there was no way I was gonna die, because I wasn't that like life threatening, but like, my parents stayed for like a month. I just didn't eat anything, and I was just like, they said whenever they touched me, I was like blazing hot because I was always fucking on fire in my internal organs. But that's like my baby stuff. When I'm trying to think in high school when I got hurt a lot in high school because I'm an idiot. I remember my friend hit me in the back of the head with a baseball bat.
Oh, I've been hit in the head, but I don't remember it doing anything to me. I remember getting square in the head with a baseball bat because I walked in front of a batter like in T-ball.
What's T-ball? They're not doing fucking hard ass swings. It's
Yeah,
a little
but
kid
Still, man.
swinging a
Sure.
bat at like less than a mile an hour.
I don't know about that. I remember it just bouncing off my head and me being like, yeah, I'm fine. And as soon as I got back to the car, my mom's like, how's everything going? And I just started bawling. I was like, I hit the head with a bat.
But I remember when I played baseball, we were taking batting practice, and like you said, my friend for some reason he was being an idiot and wasn't actually inside of the cage taking hacks. He was outside of it doing practice swings, and I was walking out of one cage and I was going to go to the exit, but I was talking to my friend on my left and he was on my right, So he took a swing and just hit me in the back of the head, and my friend said I just went down immediately. I was like on the floor. I don't remember anything for like 30 seconds from that because like it hit my vision and everything was just dark. Like the vision's in the back of the brain, and it hit me right there, so it was like dark for 30 seconds. And I thought I had my eyes closed. My friend said your eyes were open. But when I was down, I remember I'm just like, my friend said he tried to like talk to me. He's like, "Oh shit, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." I was just like laying down, like this giant ass bump on the back of my head. But have you guys like ever had an injury that like made you like physically scarred?
Yeah.
I have 2.
I have a lot, actually. I cut part of my knuckle
Tattoos
off
don't
with a
count.
knife one time.
Why would you do that?
You cut off what?
Part of my knuckle.
Why did you do that?
I was, we had a cool little pocket knife, me and Dylan's brother Dakota, and we were sharpening it on a knife sharpener, but the knife sharpener isn't one of the ones that was like attached to something. It was like a little handheld one. So I was holding it in my hand, and I remember it slipping and cutting my knuckle.
Oh fuck!
And I was just like, ooh, ow, that hurts. But I was just like, oh, whatever. Like we were with the neighbor girls next door,
Nice.
and I just kept sharpening the blade afterwards, and
Played
like
it
maybe.
cool.
Well, it didn't. It legitimately didn't hurt. I just remember catching it and going, ow, like it stung for a second. And then, like, I remember her just like gasping and going like, oh my god, and then pointing to my arm, and there was like blood dripping down from my knuckle all the way to my elbow. And it took like 2 weeks to fully heal. Like just for it to close and scab over, it took 2 weeks because the Band-Aid, like it kept, the blood kept clotting to the Band-Aid. So anytime I'd put a new Band-Aid on it, rip it back open.
Ugh.
And then when I got hit by the car, I had road rash up and down my back, and I think that caused like my back knee. I think like opening all that skin like started the back knee stuff. I could be terribly wrong on that, but I didn't have any before that. But after that, I did, and I did have pretty bad acne before that, but not the back knee. So I think that did it, and my back's super scarred from the back knee now.
Dylan, besides the gash on your hand, do you have any?
I have my surgery leg. Nice little dash line. A little smiley face on my hand as well. And those
I have.
stitches, man. Fucking stitches hurt like so much.
So, I have this like one dark spot on my knee that I have when I was like 6. I remember me and my friends were walking down the hill, and I just fucking fell and ate shit and hit my knee square on, it was like a gravel hill, so I hit my knee square on like a fucking rock on the way down, and I remember just tumbling and like standing up, and my knee, from my knee down to my ankle, like there was just a giant stream of blood. I wasn't like crying, I was just like, oh, this hurts like a motherfucker. I didn't say that because I was 6, but I remember it took forever for it to like heal, and like the scab to finally get out, and now there's permanently like a purple spot on my knee from where that happened.
Oh, I do have one more that's like legitly scarred me. Have you seen my my right eyebrow by any chance?
Yeah,
I know
I see it
Dylan
every
doesn't
time
pay
I gaze
attention.
in your eyes.
I look at your eyes, not your eyebrows.
So my right eyebrow on the like the far right of it, closest to my ear, I'm missing part of it because when I was in kindergarten, I tripped over this girl's shoes, slid behind my friend's chair as he was coming, like pushing his chair back out, and it gashed open my eyebrow. And it's never healed since. I don't have
That
hair
scenario
that
just
goes
makes
there.
me. When I visualize that, I just visualize the girl tripping you, landing face first, like sliding across the ground, like you just falling, going down, like, and then just hitting your face, but still sliding, and then you just hit the chair.
That's almost perfectly how it happened. And I remember sitting, it was at the YMCA of all places. So I remember sitting there with the YMCA people, and they were like giving my mom shit or something like that. But I remember I had to have stitches there, and apparently it cut open the back of my left ear somehow.
How would
But
that? What?
I don't know, but it cut open the back of my left ear, so I had to have 2 stitches behind my left ear, and I had like 10 on my right eyebrow, and that's my right eyebrow has been scarred ever since. I don't know about my ear.
Jake,
I
have you
remember-
ever got stitches?
I've never had stitches, but I had a moment where I thought I needed stitches, but I didn't. All I did was like, you know, those 2 little band-aids that you get after you get stitches.
Oh, the butterfly bandage.
Yeah.
Yeah, like those. I just put them on and it just healed over time because it was open, but I didn't need stitches. I got hit in the chin with a baseball. Like, my coach was like, alright, let's take grounders. And it was literally like
Oh.
me, 5 other kids, and my coach. And he's like, alright, get against the fence and I'm gonna hit you guys grounders. And he hit me, and he hit one on the ground, and it took a nasty hop and just hit me square in the chin. And I'm like gashing blood, and I heard him just saying like, "Oh, you're fine. Let's take more." So I remember just like doing it the entire time, and the entire time my right arm, because I was using my arm to rub the blood off, it's just like covered in dried blood. And when I got home, I'm like, I think I need a Band-Aid like that. And my mom's like, "I'll get you. I'll go to the store and grab some." And I just put it on. I remember it gave my chin like a nasty ass bruise, to where it looked like my chin extended out about a half an inch. And my friends called me the Crimson Chin.
I actually do have one more if you want to hear it. This one's
Go for
probably
it.
like the most. This one's probably the most like injury inflicting one I ever had. I was trying to impress my friend, and he had like the cinder block wall with like that thin layer of like actual brick on top of the cinder blocks. And I was like, "Hey man, how much you want to bet I can jump off the side of your house and touch the top of your brick wall?" And he goes, "No, no, no, you can't do that. You can't do that." And I was like, "No, I can do it. I can do it." So I remember sprinting up to the side of his wall and hitting my right foot off of it and touching the top of his brick wall. But the top of brick, I remember like flipping over on top of my hand. So I instinctively just kind of ducked my hands over my head. And
Yeah.
the brick fell on my head. And I remember like feeling a really fast rush of warm and touching my hand to my head and my hand being just covered in blood. So I sprinted home and I kicked open the door to my mom's room and I just screamed, "I need to go to the ER now!" And she's like, "What happened? What happened?" And I showed her my hand and she was flipping out. But my mom didn't have medical insurance. She wasn't working at the time. So like the solution was my grandpa cut, like I had really long hair at the time, so my grandpa cut the hair around the wound and he grabbed both sides of the wound like with his hands and just held it shut. Like he pulled the skin shut so that the skin was skin tight, and then he had my mom put a towel on top of it and hold my head like that. And then when they both got tired, he told me to push my head like against the wall, like so that I was looking upward, pushing my skin closer to the wound on top until it closed. Like that's how I healed my head. And I swear, dude, it's super sensitive in that spot on my head to this day. It's not like a soft spot, but like the skin is
Because it was
sore
like-
still.
Fucking white trash way to fix it.
I didn't have medical insurance. What was I supposed to do?
You have a gash in your head.
I didn't. Well,
Adrenaline.
yeah, I was in shock and probably adrenaline. And then even my grandma was like, now that I think about that, you probably would have needed stitches for that.
You guys know how in like school, to like impress a girl or something, you would do like, for me it was, I would try to like impress girls in PE. Cause like back when I was little, I was really like, I wouldn't say athletic, but I was better at sports than most other dumb kids. Did you guys ever like try to impress girls like that?
Nope.
No, my
I tried to
school was
talk
all
to
about
them.
running fast.
I remember in middle school, it was just like a free day. It's like, all right, go do whatever you want. And I'm like, oh, I'll go play soccer with my friends. And I remember like the prettiest girl in PE, she went to go play soccer. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna impress her by like breaking her ankles in soccer. I'm like dribbled the shit out of her, and I remember like I'm going towards her and she's playing like defender, and I go to take a dribble move, like I go to take a step to the left, and then like I fake left and I want to go right. Instead, I fake left, and when I step right, I step on the ball, and all my weight goes on my right foot, and my left leg is pulled up off the ground. So I step on the ball and I roll off and I like flip backwards and I land back on the ground. I literally like just slipped off the ball. And I remember landing on my back, and I'm like, oh shit, that hurt. But I had to play it cool, so I just started laughing.
Poor
And then I got up and I had a bruised elbow. And then nothing happened.
I never
That's what I
really
remember
tried to
of that.
impress a girl.
No,
Dude,
you're not into
gonna impress
girls.
a girl with soccer skills. Dude, when it was baseball time in PE, don't fucking forget it, man. I would. The PE teacher knew I played. Like, he knew I was probably the best baseball player in that, like, because PE, back in middle school and elementary school, it was just like, okay, go throw a ball. So everyone literally was like, can't throw, can't do anything. But, like, I was the only one that could like, actually throw, and he's like, oh shit, this kid probably plays baseball. So in his baseball, he's just like, alright, Jacob, do whatever. You know how baseball works.
You know how
then
baseball works.
I know what baseball is. Justin, I heard that you went to go see Ninja Sex Party.
I did. It was quite. Oh, man. Okay, so you honestly want to hear like my honest opinion on it?
Yeah.
I was super excited to see them, and I know this is sounding super nerdy, but for me, it was. You guys know Danny. He's a super just like down to earth guy, and like the way he talks, and he's super humble about everything. And they really enjoyed what they did. They really, really did. Everything they did, they were like, we honestly wouldn't be here without any of the fans. So thank you so much for coming out, because you literally made our dreams come true. So it was very touching. It was a very touching moment a few times throughout the concert, but it was super fun. They played out this whole like gag throughout the entire thing, so it wasn't just like a band. It was a show. It really was a show. It's really cool.
I think the Jake Paul live show's better.
You think so?
No.
All right.
I'd go see Jake Paul live.
I wouldn't. I don't want to be in a crowd of like 11-year-old girls.
I've never even seen one of his videos.
I would stand out and he would point me out.
He'd be like, you, get on the stage.
Yeah.
But really, he's pointing at the 9-year-old girl in front of you.
Jake Pauler. Number one fan.
And then at that point, you take off your shirt and it's just like, I hate Jake Paul. And then you get booed off the stage.
That's a perfect plan.
Do it. No balls.
He's not touring right now. He's fighting KSI. Or no, he's fighting KSI's brother.
Who?
It's a brother.
Oh my god. No,
I
you
don't know
do.
his name. It starts with a D.
Deji.
Edgy.
Edgy? Edgelord?
Deji. D-E-G-I. No, D-E-J-I, not D-E-G.
Is he an edgelord?
What?
Edgelord.
Edgelord. Do you know the
He's a fucking-
definition?
He's nerdy.
Do you know what an edgelord is?
Yeah, it's Dylan.
No, it's somebody that likes to, when they pleasure themselves, like to get
Oh,
themselves
splendid.
to the point of ejaculation without ejaculating.
Is that real?
Yeah. It's called edging.
That's not
dude.
real, is it?
Dude, look, Google it. It's called
I don't
edging.
wanna, I'm gonna Google it.
Sounds
Edgy?
Edging.
edging.
Like
That
pushing me
doesn't
to
sound
the
so-
edge because all my friends are dead.
Approaching the edge of sexual orgasm and drawing usually several times before finally achieving orgasm, meant to intensify it, and for men, volume of ejaculate and force of ejaculation. I'll use it in a sentence. My girlfriend and I like to edge before we fuck.
What the fuck?
That was April 7th, 2009, almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, dude, that's where the term edgelord came from.
I don't think I want to be edgelord anymore.
Why not? You're telling me
I don't-
you don't like to perform in the act of edging?
No, I'm very
Not really.
insensitive, and I'll be very disappointed, and it'll ruin my day.
I like how Dylan thinks. It went from, that'll be very unsatisfactory, and then it'll ruin my day.
What
Well,
generally
Holy shit, you're
unsatisfactory
smashing
dudes?
buttons.
I'm sorry. I'm really
He's
trying to beat this
golfing.
challenge.
Didn't you already 100% that?
No, I have to finish the challenge. I'm like super close to 100%ing it. I'm just trying to
Oh,
tap
shit,
A to get
E3
my ball
happened.
to...
E3,
Wait.
Mike.
What happened?
Yeah.
Bethesda.
Hannah was farting in
Bethesda.
her sleep.
Thanks.
I thought you'd enjoyed to hear that. It's kind of
No.
funny.
What?
Dylan, what game did you like seeing gameplay of at E3?
FIFA 19.
Dude, they didn't even release the Madden 19 cover artist. Like, I don't care.
Oh my god, who cares?
Or cover athlete, or cover artist.
NBA was LeBron James, and he got destroyed.
Yeah, the
Playoffs.
Warriors destroyed the Cavs. That's news for everyone. And a shock.
Perfect.
Don't make noises like that during the podcast.
Sorry, I threw a ball.
Oh yeah, Dylan's home alone.
Only
Oh,
scream
shit.
Don't scream.
I'll do it.
Don't.
Do it. Just do it once.
What?
Wow, that was a loud scream.
Whoa. Ooh. 11:40. Is it? No, it's 44.
It's 43.
Oh
How much time
yeah.
you got this?
We should probably end the podcast soon. I'll be honest, I forgot to set a timer.
Oh my god.
Well, I set a timer and it's been 21 minutes.
Oh,
But
okay.
I set it at like 11:20. And we probably started at like 11, so it's probably been a good 42 minutes.
Oh,
Dude, I think my Minecraft Toys World.
Oh no. They're gonna come steal your virginity now. Whatever you're gonna do.
Dylan,
Oh no,
stop
it works.
fumbling
It's back.
with stuff.
It's back. It's back. It
Dude,
works.
Stop. Every fucking podcast.
I turned it on. I turned it on. It works.
I'm gonna fucking fiddle with this dumb shit.
When I go get water at night, I always bring my Minecraft torch with me, so no one.
so no one
No one
knows to
gets me.
fuck with you. Because you know the robber in your house with the gun, and he sees you with the Minecraft torch. He's like, oh shit, that guy's hard as fuck.
Fucking backs out.
He just backs out with his
I
hands
deal
up.
with a robber in my life.
Haven't you dealt with that?
Yes.
Yeah, he's been robbed.
Tell that
Or not
tell that
robbed,
story,
but-
Dylan. Tell the story. No, he didn't have to get robbed. He caught someone breaking into his house.
It was,
Tell him the story.
I stayed home from school for probably either because I was sick or most likely because I didn't want to go. But I was like wrapped in my blanket and I heard like a noise from my bathroom. So I went to go check it out. And I saw a dude just climbing in from the window, and he got in so fast as well because he was panicking. He said, "Is your brother home?" I'm like, "No, he's at school." He's like, "Oh, I was just trying to get something from them." He's like, "Oh, he'll be," and I said, "He was like, he'll be back later." So I like escorted him out the back door.
You
for
let
some
the
reason.
fucking guy out of your house? You like walked him out the front door?
It was a back door.
Oh.
And he
You
walked
didn't
him
even let him
into
at
the
the front.
backyard.
You, like,
I
here,
let
you
him out
entered
the
through the
back
backyard.
Here you go. Yeah, I'll be home later. He's like, "All right, I'll get it later," and I never saw him again. And I told I told my mom about it, and she like called the police, and the police was there. Like, this isn't a big deal.
He was a nice guy. He let me walk him out.
He
Besides
was
that,
a nice guy. I let him. He
I met him. He didn't try to kill me. He just asked me a question, and I let him out.
He was Mexican. He was great.
He was great.
I was a great host, mother. Please.
Don't call the police on my guests.
I invited him in through the bathroom window. Please. Not him.
Right this way.
I don't have a nail. I need a nail
Why do you need a nail?
to hang my Minecraft torch.
Oh my god.
I'll put it in my brother's room. Be perfect over his bed. They took the they took the baby monitor. Here we go. Here we go.
The darkness.
Oh. I'm
Where
gonna take
are
a-
you?
Aid's room. Let me take a picture of this and send it to you.
Oh god, I can't wait to see
Do it
this.
after the podcast. We
Actually,
gotta end
I'll
the
do it right
podcast.
now. I'm doing it right now.
No,
Hold on.
stop.
I
Dylan,
gotta-
if you send us the picture, you have to post it on during editing so everyone else can see what it looks like too.
Alright, that's fine.
Are you okay?
What do you mean?
I just wasn't sure if you were back yet or not. So we can end the podcast.
What's back? Look at the picture, and then we can do it. It's on Snapchat.
That looks so stupid.
Perfect.
You're an idiot.
Why is it on? There you go.
Turn it on, turn off the lights, and then send me another picture.
Alright.
Put this in the like show the visual, and like cut out the
Jesus,
the
it's
thumbnail.
bright. In the fucking
Cut out the
picture.
thumbnail and put in this picture during this part.
That's bright. It's so bright. It's brighter than my camera. Like,
Oh.
Oh my god, it is bright.
It's
Jesus Christ.
It looks like a
blurring out
fucking-
the
it
camera.
looks like a flashlight.
It's really dim. I don't know why it's like that. Perfect night light. I'll leave it.
It's bright as fuck.
Surprise! Aiden plays Minecraft.
No, he doesn't. He's two.
Alright, you can end it.
All right.
Oh, now I can edit? You're gonna give me that permission?
I gotta.
This. Shut up.
Despacito.
Don't. No. Stop. This was episode 4 of the G Patrol. Thanks you for watching. Comment. Questions.
You
if
already
have
messed up.
any.
You messed up. Nah,
I didn't. I nailed it. But,
you did. Nuh-uh.